And salutations, everybody! I'm Andrew from Team Respawn, and this is a video talking about Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition and everything we know about the game so far. They announced a ton of stuff at E3, and one of the things Microsoft was really promoting was Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition, which was really awesome to see that Microsoft's getting behind an Age of Empires game again. So if you don't know what this is, Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition is a graphical remaster and I wouldn't necessarily say remake, but just making Age of Empires to look much more modern, really adding so much stuff into the game. I mean, there's every single expansion ever released for the game is included with this. It's going to be standard for 4K screens, whole bunch of stuff that's going to make this game really awesome. So I'm going to break down everything we know about the game so far and what's going to happen to Age of Empires 2 HD Edition, the previous version of the game that's also on Steam right now after this game releases. So here's some things that we know about Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition. Firstly, that there's a new studio that will handle Age of Empires development, and they didn't give this a name when Microsoft was showing off their library or portfolio of studios. It just said Age of Empires, so I don't know if this studio is called just Age of Empires or if they're going to have a name later. But it's really cool to see that there will be a studio specifically for this IP. I mean, that's a really big deal. Microsoft historically does not make internal studios very often, hardly ever actually. This proves that Microsoft is heavily invested in the franchise, and Age of Empires will become a huge first-party game from now on. It's also unknown what's going to happen with the other studios that are invested with Age of Empires at the moment. So really the two big ones are Forgotten Empires, and you can kind of include Skybox in there as well. But the other studio is Relic Entertainment, and those were the guys who were announced to be developing Age of Empires 4. And there was Phil Spencer talking about Age of Empires 4, saying that it's coming along great and they have some new details they want to share with the game, perhaps as early as later this year, but the focus is on Age of Empires 2. So, really, the one studio kind of left in the dark now is Forgotten Empires, and these were the guys that were always pumping out the expansions for Age 2 HD Edition on Steam. And my guess is they'll just remain involved with the franchise and perhaps continually making expansion packs. So back to Age 2 Definitive Edition. The game is launching in the fall of 2019. It is coming out day one on PC Game Pass. When that game comes out, it'll also be available on PC Game Pass. It will also be on Steam, as well as Age of Empires 1 Definitive Edition. That game is coming to Steam as well. Right now, it's only on PC, but they have not rolled out a console version yet, but it's just not happening right now. So you may ask, with the release of Age 2 Definitive Edition, what happens to the old Age 2 HD Edition? Will it be sunsetted? Will Microsoft pull it from Steam? Well, the good news is that it won't be going away. It's going to remain a separate version. It's unknown if that game is going to continue to receive any expansion packs in the future, but they're not really going to be trying to bury it to promote the Definitive Edition. But here's what's cool about the Definitive Edition. It will include all the DLC campaigns and expansion packs from Age 2 HD Edition. So everything that was ever released for Age of Empires 2 on Steam will be included with this, as well as a new campaign called The Last Cons. So as a recap, this will include the original base game, the Conquerors expansion, and everything the Forgotten Empires has released. Also, they want to put as much content as possible in this Definitive Edition, and even the E3 demo that was playable on the show floor, that will be included in the final release. There'll be like a little campaign or scenario called the 2019 E3 demo, and you can play that if you wish in the full game. Some other cool things are the cheat codes from the old Age of Empires 2 will remain in this game. So you can type your cheat codes to get your Shelby GT Cobra and just blow everyone up. That will still be in the game. Price for this game is $20, but here's what's even cooler, is that it's $15 for those who already own the old older, I guess I should say, Age of Empires 2 HD Edition. And really, this is a downright steal for the amount of content you're getting. It's like 35 campaigns. I would also recommend getting Age of Empires 1 Definitive Edition and Age of Mythology Extended Edition, two other Age of Empires games that have already received remasters. Both of them, in my opinion, are really well done, especially for the single player portions. And Age of Empires 3 will be remastered, and we expect that'll be coming somewhere in between after the release of Age 2 Definitive Edition and before the release of Age of Empires 4. If you decide to get Age 2 Definitive Edition on Windows 10, and let's say your friend gets it on Steam, like let's say you have PC Game Pass, so you have to play it on the Windows 10, and then you have a friend that picks it up on Steam, the multiplayer will be cross-platform, if you will. So it doesn't matter what service you get the game from, both of you will be able to play multiplayer together, which is awesome. So let's go into some details about the remaster of the game itself. This is a port of Age of Empires 2. The graphics will be completely redone as well as the animations with some new interesting and helpful features, and the resolution will scale all the way up to 4K. There may be some confusion between the DE and the HD versions. The HD version pretty much does not change the animations or the graphics from the original version that was originally released of Age 2 in the 90s or early 2000s. This version has all new graphics and animations for 2019 while keeping the classic playstyle fun from the original game. In my opinion, the Definitive Edition will be the best version to get if you've not already jumped into this series. There will be new tutorials and challenges. These challenges range from learning how to play the game to how to properly micromanage your units. These challenges and tutorials came from feedback from the pro players, all the top players who really make Age of Empires 2 really fun to watch, so it should be great for newcomers. The AI has also been completely redesigned. If you've ever played the original Age of Empires 2, you'll know that the AI can really cheat, and this is no longer the case. The AI has been designed to play just like a real human player, and it can no longer cheat, if you want to call it that. They also use the same play styles and tactics of various real players, and you can even watch replays of AI matches to try and pick up a new strategy. And this new AI is present for both campaign and multiplayer, so the single player should be much more winnable. And if you want, you can flip back to the old AI system. The HUD is getting a lot more info. There's going to be new shortcuts added, and buildings will now show upgrade progress just by hovering your mouse over it, which is really cool. All of these changes are completely optional as well. Players will be able to change back to the classic AI, the original rules, the original graphics. I mean, really anything you want, you can do in this version of the game. Matchmaking will be handled through Xbox Live. Mixer will be integrated into the game. The sound has been re-recorded, as well as voices and music. Xbox achievements will be present on the Windows 10 version, and I'm assuming those same exact achievements will be on Steam. They'll just be Steam achievements. In my opinion, with a dedicated studio, all these remasters, new content, a fourth game in development, and improvements to all of these remasters, Age 2 DE looks to be incredible and one of the most jam-packed RTS games ever. Age of Empires has said if you want to play the campaigns only and you win them on your first try, there's over 200 hours worth of campaigns alone in Age 2 DE. I mean, that's just an absurd amount of content. And this community, especially regarding and surrounding Age 2, has been growing a lot recently. So I think that this RTS game is really going to blow up, especially with Game Pass behind it. And I think it's going to be really successful and get a lot more players into Age of Empires 2.